NBA draft notes. I don't have. This was the
The draft happened.
It was
It did
awful.
happen.
The draft
It
happened.
did happen.
I hated it.
You hated it except for one thing, which was
nobody get mad at me for this because it's not going to sound how I want it to sound. I sped home, not really, like going 75 on the way home from happy hour last night. I didn't have any beverages because your girl's on antibiotics. Just throwing that out there. I had one sip of a coconut drink to try it, and it was terrible. That being said, I sped home from happy hour last night. For what?
I'll tell you for what. A single jacket.
I'd like to say
that you did like.
I loved the fashion. The fashion was great.
The fashion was great.
That being said, yeah, all right, on the burner, NCAA basketball. A lot of these draft picks and a lot of the top draft picks were not NCAA college basketball players.
Thank you.
Is college basketball dying?
Here's the thing.
Different sport, in my opinion.
I think college basketball is entering its ice hockey era. And here's what I mean by that. We have both worked in, well, actually, all three of us have experience in hockey. I went to a huge hockey high school. A lot of the people I knew growing up didn't go to college, played juniors, then got a deal at college, then played. What I'm feeling with the NBA that we're seeing is those players that aren't ready for the NBA are going to the G League.
Stirring my tea.
They're going to Europe to play. And therefore, in these drafts, that's where teams are drafting them from because they're ready to go. I feel like the NCAA is not necessarily preparing these players unless they're some Zion Williamson level, incredible.
Duke, whatever, yeah.
Duke. Sorry. I had to do it on him.
Yeah. Well, so I have that in my notes about Wemby. I'm like, people are so polarized by him because they're like, I don't know if he's going to be good. He's going to be a bust. I have no faith in him. He can't put on any weight, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why people feel this way because he's been playing overseas against literally 30-year-old fucking men.
Former NBA players.
As a child. Like,
I know why. It's because they haven't seen him. Those games aren't televised like NCAA.
I know.
That's the only reason why. If they watched him play, they'll say, "Oh, this kid's incredible."
Yeah, they don't know.
Nobody's seen him actually play.
They don't know ball like us.
But that's the thing is that people are just like, I have no faith in him. People are saying he's going to be better than Kevin Durant. Blah blah blah. Shut up. Like these kids, like all of these kids that did not come from an NCAA school have been playing basketball as 17, 18, 19-year-old kids against grown-ass fucking men. Grown-ass men.
Yeah, I think we're past the point where you can start, like, you can stop harping on European basketball. I think we're at a point where European basketball, I would equate to like juniors in hockey. Bigger than, like, they are really good and it's really competitive.
Well, even in like the Olympics and stuff, like they compete, like they beat ass.
Well, look at Jokic too. Like, basketball is not necessarily an American sport. It may have been founded here, but it's not it's not. We're seeing a lot of people come from all over the world.
Look at that Mavericks kid too. What's his name? Luka?
Doncic.
Yeah, Luka Doncic. Yeah. He's like, it's something that I think that we can't necessarily knock on. And I think that that's a great point. To your point, Kendra, is obviously those players that are playing in the G League and the European leagues are better prepared for the NBA than these NCAA players. And that's why most of these NCAA players aren't going right to the league. So there's something to say about that.
I have later in our notes, but I'll bring it up now. I can ask Haley her thoughts. That's the only reason with the Bucks pick later in this draft, their first pick, they took a kid from UConn that I like wasn't, I thought that it was a decent take just because I like Andre Jackson because he came from UConn. They just won some hardware. Like, I'm okay with like taking kids that are kind of either one, found success, or two, have played for a big basketball school. I'm okay with that. Like, that's fine for me. I give that a good grade because you've won some hardware. You've been through, you have some experience doing something like that. But I agree with you that college basketball, like, you got to pick it up. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if it's just because European basketball is kind of kicking ass. I don't know what it is.
I think it's closer to the style of the NBA than College basketball still uses like big men. That's still a huge part of their game, and it's just not the way the NBA is going.
You guys hear me? I dropped out a little bit there.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So I think Wemby's great. I think I love him as a person. I wish nothing but the best for him. I do think it sucks to like get drafted and go somewhere like San Antonio, because San Antonio is probably the worst city I have ever been to in my entire life.
Really?
And I've been to almost all 50 states. And almost every major city. San Antonio is the worst.
My ex-boyfriend is from San Antonio.
It's unsafe. It's small. It's not. It's it's not young. It's not hip. It's not like. It's not safe at all. Like scary. And I'm from Jacksonville. At 2, the Hornets took Brandon Miller. All I have is fuck Brandon Miller. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Hornets fans. Like, I have a couple friends who are Hornets fans just because I am like from the South, and like a bunch of my friends went to college in the Carolinas. That sucks.
Yeah, I very much, real quick, all I'm gonna say on this, again, apologies to the men in the chat that don't understand what I'm about to reference. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. That's exactly the vibe I got from this. Shout out Tyra Banks and America's Next Top Model. If you haven't seen that video, go watch it. It's really funny. But I feel the same way. I love the Carolinas. I have a lot of friends that live down there. Living in Massachusetts, a lot of people go to school down there from here.
Yeah, I know it's weird.
So I know a lot of people that are like living down there now. And listen, I want to root for the Hornets. I want them to do well. I want them, just like Memphis. I'm riding with these like middle of the South teams right now. No longer. I'm very disappointed in this pick, especially considering the workout that the reports were that Scoot had down there, which were that it was a significantly better workout than Brandon Miller. So I'm honestly disappointed that he didn't go second.
Me too.
Fuck Brandon Miller, and Hornets are canceled. Sorry.
Apparently, I was listening to Tennessee sports radio on my way home last night because my phone died. Apparently, he said Paul George is his GOAT.
Yeah, he did.
This is just wild.
He is.
That's an interesting pick.
It's an interesting take.
Yeah. Okay.
That's yeah. So I did want to shout out that Asar and Amen Thompson going back to back was super cool, because brothers going consecutively in a draft hasn't happened since the 1999 NHL draft, when 2 brothers went 3 and 4.
At the Sedines.
I don't remember who it was. I heard it on the broadcast and I looked it up, and I should have put their names in here, and I
can't
didn't.
Imagine it's not the Sedines, but maybe it's not. I don't know.
But
they're the only other twins I know.
Yep, the Sedin twins, Daniel and Henrik.
Imagine being their mom, though. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah. I personally, so we got Asar in Piston Land. I kind of wanted Amen more.
Damn,
I liked his white suit
brother.
more.
The wrong brother, which was your fear from the get-go. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when we discussed the draft,
I knew I was getting one of the twins. I knew I was going to get one of the twins.
What if they just did like a classic twin swap?
They do a twin swap? What is that movie?
Freaky Friday.
Parent Trap.
Parent Trap.
Yeah. Do a Parent Trap.
The NBA Trap. The Pistons
fun.
Trap.
They do look identical. I can't tell them apart.
You could get the old switcheroo. What if he just wants to live in Detroit? What if they want to switch cities?
That's a good point. Where's the other one? Houston?
I think it's Houston. Dallas,
maybe?
Houston, something like that. Texas somewhere.
Definitely not Dallas. I think it's Houston though.
I gotta say 10 out of 10 for the Anthony Black memes.
Oh my god, they're so good.
I'm all in on this kid. I love this
so
kid.
good. I'm all in on the Orlando Magic.
I didn't know he existed until
I'm so in on the Orlando Magic right now.
The Orlando Magic haven't been this cool since before Dwight Howard left and bought a bunch of snakes.
Literally.
I don't know
before Dwight Howard was an outed snake guy.
I don't know if you all feel this way. I look at him and he looks like an Orlando Magic.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love it for the franchise. I love it for him. They
have had so many picks in general, but so many early picks the last couple of years that if their development is worth half a fuck, like they might actually be good in a couple years, which is kind of sick. I don't know. All I could think of was the guy from LMFAO, the Party Rock guy.
Party Rock. I was thinking of Corbin Blue.
That's exactly who I was thinking about. I was also thinking about
my boy Corbin Blue.
I was thinking about Corbin Blue.
Yeah.
It was giving very Corbin Blue energy.
And the Disney logo on his Magic jersey too. It's just very Corbin Blue.
I love it. Can we please go to an Orlando Magic game just for the
yeah.
meme?
Yeah, it's super close to my mom.
Disney World too.
It's like 2 hours from my mom. So we should just take a week when we go to Jack's.
Florida trip with the pod.
Florida core. Obviously we have to talk about Grady Dick because his suit was the best thing of all time, and the fact that it was a play on Dorothy because he's from Kansas is fire.
Was that why he did it?
Okay. Awesome.
If that's why he did it, I'll
yeah, because he's from Kansas.
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that was the joke, but
and he got his red bottoms.
So uncomfortable.
I would wear that. I need that in my size.
He looked like he was stuck in like this position.
Here's the thing, and I mean this in the most endearing way. I think that Grady Dick is not necessarily the most conventionally attractive person, which is why
his personality makes him attractive.
His personality makes him it's just like the vibe that he gives off, TikToks. Not necessarily his. He doesn't rely on his looks.
He's very,
so for him to roll up,
so funny.
For him to roll up in that outfit with just all the confidence in the world, I was like, bitch, you better work. Like,
you better work. I love him.
I'm also going to give him a shout out because the thing I don't know if you guys saw this, that he was most excited about meeting Drake.
Yeah.
That would be me going to Toronto, honestly. Yeah. Like,
no, fair. The best thing about this was that bars in Toronto were rumored to be screaming, "We want Dick."
No way.
Chanting, "We want Dick."
That's, listen, I'm a Toronto hockey hater, Toronto Raptor apologist.
Same.
Sorry.
Same. I almost was like, Toronto, we're not in Kansas anymore.
It's true.
But I didn't think people would get it.
I guarantee they make some sort of like their social media team has to do.
I want my royalties. What's today's date? It is Friday, June 23rd, 2023. If you guys do this, you copied me, and I want my royalties now. So hopefully he doesn't get Drake cursed. Kind of bringing it back to the Celtics really quick, just before we move on. Tyler, do you have any notes that I missed? I don't think so.
No, I kind of
covered all mine. So
yeah, we covered all my bases.
The Bucks a B+ because they traded with Orlando to chase. I already talked about Andre Jackson from UConn. And anytime you can add a champ, W in my book. And then I didn't love the later pick, the Chris Livingston kid from Kentucky, just because he's super young, and I think he could have used maybe one more year in college to develop a little bit. If he can like succeed in the G League a little bit, I'll feel less worried. I just think that he's a little bit more of a project that they need, considering Chris Middleton is in flux. I don't know. We have Bobby Portis for a couple more years. I don't know about Drew Holiday's contract off the top of my head. I don't know. It's whatever. It's fine. I don't feel good or bad about it. I just think he's too young. And then I gave the Celtics a C+ because they were giving big Bill Belichick trading back for Christian Gonzalez vibes with all the trades. And I get that they need to win right now because their championship window is closing, and maybe Brad Stevens is just collecting Pokemon cards to throw at somebody for something. But I don't know. You're really putting all your eggs in one basket here, Brad.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I'm going to jump off the Livingston thing because I also was very confused by that. The kid was born in 2003. Well, okay, just as a reminder, that is crazy to me. But I think it also speaks back to our earlier conversation. I feel like a lot of these kids that are entering the NBA draft right out of NCAA are not ready. I think they either need that G League time or they need to have like an Andre Jackson situation where they had time to have a good couple years, a championship run, a good tournament performance. Then they might be more prepared than, say, someone like Chris Livingston. I don't know, man. I get why you were hesitant with that pick. It was a little confusing to me as well.
What do you grade the Celtics? Also, if you didn't know that I'm a Bucks fan and you're new here, welcome.
Hi, welcome. Hi, how are you? I'm a Celtics fan, and I give them a B- because I can't give them a C+ because that seems really harsh because I'm a stan. But
Can
I think
I
a C
ask
plus
you
is
a
very
question?
thin. C plus is fair. And
As
the
a-
championship window is closing. I think we need to talk about that more. The championship window is closing. So they got to kick their ass into gear here. I'm getting kind of tired of it.
Can I ask you a question? And this is like just a Boston sports fan question. Why is it that whenever the Celtics do something, everyone's like, yeah, love it, gotta have it, right thing to do, woo woo, yeah, let's fucking go. But whenever the Bruins even breathe, people are like, fuck the Bruins, like they suck, what are they doing? Why is that?
I think it comes down to ownership. I think the way that the teams are the way that the teams make those decisions differs in the sense that they take fan consideration in. Listen, I think that any sports organization is going to do whatever they can to make themselves money. That's just what they're going to do, or to win a championship, or both. So I think that the Bruins and the Celtics are comparable and contrastable. And like, if you look at the Bruce Cassidy situation versus the Joe Mazzulla situation, I think they're very different in the sense that the Bruins fans really ride for the players and the team. And I think that the issue with that was they wanted to, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I guess what I'm trying to say is that, you know, like when Bruce Cassidy left, for example, Bruins fans were upset because they saw what he brought to the city as a coach. And obviously it was a player issue that was part of that decision. But I think still fans were grateful to him. With the Celtics, I think that every time someone makes a decision, and in the NBA in general, I think that moves are just made more frequently and, you know, just kind of less organized than, say, other sports. I think that the city has more faith in the Boston ownership than they do in the Bruins ownership, personally.